Good day, everybody. I'm Lawrence Singleton, Dean of the Lubin School of Business here at Pace University. Pace University was founded in 1906 as a one-room accounting school in the original New York Times building across the street from our New York City campus. Since then, Pace has grown into a comprehensive university with international reach, with over 13,500 students in 6 schools and colleges, with programs ranging from short certificate programs to doctoral programs. And this fall, Pace will launch its 7th academic unit, the Sands College of Performing Arts. But at the heart of Pace is its business and entrepreneurial roots. When President Marvin Krislov asked me to take a look at our entrepreneurial programs and develop something that would really be a game changer, I knew we had to do something transformative. And that's what has led us to the establishment of the Pace Entrepreneurship Studio and our collaboration with And Ventures. Pace wants to be recognized as a leading provider of entrepreneurial education and a magnet for startups and investors. We want young entrepreneurs to be attracted to Pace as a great place to build their businesses and make their dreams come true. We also want to be a great place for alumni, faculty, and staff to develop their businesses. And of course, we want the companies that come through the studio to be very successful with a very bright future. The Pace Entrepreneurship Studio is off to a very strong start, and today is the day of our first pitch day. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for being here. I hope to have the opportunity to meet you all in person in the near future.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. This is an exciting day for us. I think we started this journey together with Larry and Marvin about 2 years ago, and today we are really at the point of how do we join the major league? How do we actually present companies with a huge potential of becoming market leaders in the field of their development. And also, I have to acknowledge that thanks to Marvin and Larry, as a team and personally doing this research of how to help founders for the last a little bit more than a decade, but nobody wants to give up their age, especially in the last 6 years at Google. I was really looking for this opportunity of how to share the knowledge and share the research with partners around the world, that with them we can really build a better methodology and a better support mechanism for founders. And I think this is where Marvin and Larry really became our partners in let's bring this to Pace, and through this activity that we're doing together, really make the support and structure and methodology that we're building into helping these founders reach markets and scale quickly, become better and faster. And that what in our eyes made Pace a really revolutionary university in their approach of not just following suit with what every university is doing, but actually going to the forefront of how can we do things better, stronger, and faster than other universities. And that's what we love about the PES program that we're driving together. So thank you again, Larry and Marvin, for the trust, and let's enjoy the path of the road we're taking together. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Nir. I'm COO and founder of Cloudonix. Cloudonix is a software-defined communications platform, and we help businesses sell more and basically engage better with their customers through smarter communications. Today, most communications, everybody's talking about digital engagements, and we actually focus on voice because we believe that proper voice communications actually make better business. A little bit about ourselves. We're 3 founders. Eric Klein, who's our COO, is actually a Pace alumni. He is the person that actually brought us into the program. We've been close friends for over 20 years, and we've worked in the IT industry in various aspects of it. Oded is the original architect behind Taboola, if you're familiar with that platform. Eric and I have been working together inside various companies around the world and consulting to them in telecoms and so on. So we've been in this industry for over 20 years. So let's talk a little bit about customer engagements. And I know when most people think about customer engagements, they automatically think about chatbots, they automatically think about digital engagements. And the truth is that this is what we do today. But the problem is that all of these experiences are incredibly choppy. They're bad. Give me one example, any of you, of a company where you ended up, getting some kind of customer service or ending up trying to buy something online and you need some support from somebody that didn't end up on a phone call. it will always end up on a phone call. And this is exactly what happens. Over the past 2 years, we've done several studies also with insurance companies and financial institutes here in Israel and other places around the world. And everybody gave the same statistics. 85% of digital engagements end up on a phone call. And when it ends up on the phone call, it just dies because nothing that happened previous to that is tied back to that phone call. Voice is king. And regardless of what you'll ever do, voice will always be king. Everybody says, we don't want to talk on the phone. We don't want to talk, but eventually voice is the only way to get things done. Okay, we're here on video, but video will not work if I'm not speaking. Won't do anything. And today there are over 2.4 trillion voice calls being made annually on platforms that are not related to the telephone. We're talking about WhatsApp. We're talking about WeChat. We're talking about Viber. They're completely off the grid. An under-monetized market of over $33 billion on an annual basis. Nobody is taking good advantage of that specific market. Now, Cloudonix, as I said, is a software-defined communications platform. And as I said, we help businesses utilize communications in a smarter way that is way more efficient and way more engaging than other platforms or other solutions. And the best way to actually understand what software-defined communications is or how it works is to actually experience it. So what we're going to do right now, and I'm going to ask a lot of you to open up your cameras. Please enable them because I would like to see your faces when you do this. And pull up your mobile phones, regardless of where you are in the world. And I'm going to switch screens for a second. And this is the same QR code. And I ask you to scan the QR code on the screen with your mobile phone. Your mobile phone will ask access to your microphone. Please enable it and see what happens. Now, as you will join and as you will start your application, you'll start seeing the screen change. So you can actually see all of you joining in, and you should start hearing some music. Now, imagine for 1 second that this QR code, which activated right now a normal phone call into a PBX system, okay? Could be a sales operation, could be a customer care operation. Imagine that QR code as the front end to starting a sales call with anybody. Imagine that QR code on your internet router at home to call your ISP for support. Imagine that QR code on your washing machine when it breaks down, and it will automatically connect you to the right person to give you service. This is what customer engagement is all about. This is taking all of these broken engagements that are completely detached of any context when they happen and putting the context back in and giving the business and the customer the ability to get the service faster and easier. Here. So as I said, so software-defined communications actually gives access to previously inaccessible technology, communications technology, which is incredibly complex in the same manner that you would expect from serverless environments and no-code, low-code technologies. That is the idea behind software-defined communications. We actually hide everything inside this very little tight black box and make sure that whatever the business needs to use, they can use it in a very productive and very reliable manner. Just a little bit of an example. So Callbox is one of our customers and partners here in Israel. Originally, so Callbox does what's called call analytics. They basically manage your online campaigns, and we help them optimize both their communication costs on one hand, but also introduce way more features than they previously had. Today, all of Callbox's customers, over 400 customers, are using Cloudonix for all of their online media transactions. These are insurance companies, these are various banks, these are communication providers, and so on. A little bit about our traction. We had an amazing growth for the past 12 months. We've reached the 1.1 million ARR. Actually, at the end of Q1, we're approaching the 1.3 by the end of this quarter. We've had over 200% revenue growth in the last 12 months, and so on. I'll be happy to go into the details of each of these numbers. So what is our market size? So we actually live inside the intersection between three very distinct, well-established markets. One of them is the CPaaS market. You may know custom of companies like Twilio, Plivo, and Vonage. CCaaS, the same market where AirCall, Dialpad, RingCentral, Bandwidth.com operate, and the as software-defined infrastructure when we find companies such as Ericsson and Nokia. Cloudonix lives inside the intersection between all of these markets, the vacuum that exists between them, which is an addressable $33 billion annual market, growing at a rate of approximately 20% on an annual basis. Just a little bit about our customers. Our customers currently are split into four distinct silos. We have the communications market, which is our traditional environment. We have their customers such as Twilio, satellite communication companies, and so on. We have companies in the sales and analytics and CRM environments, such as Callbox and Hot Telecom, Callmarker, Call Tracking Metrics, Financial Institute, and the one that we favor the most, or let's say it is closest to our hearts, is the IoT and wearables, where we bring the biggest value. And one of them, for example, one of our customers, Nickelodeon, Paramount Pictures, they have a product which hadn't yet been launched in the US, which is a smartwatch for kids. And it's one of the most interesting projects we've worked with over the past year and a half. We're currently raising a round of $3 million to facilitate our growth. We're currently rapidly growing and recruiting new customers on a daily basis. And we basically want to increase our velocity in order to do so.
Hi, everyone. My name is Shay, co-founder at Gamr. Gamr building all-in-one monetization platform for gamers everywhere. Let's talk about how we got started. My co-founders, Eniola and Kumi, were doing Tech Plus. Tech Plus at that time was the biggest tech convergence back home in Lagos, Nigeria. And they had a very interesting angle to it, and they started organizing tournaments in sort of bracket esports. And the pandemic hit, and very quickly they realized that, oh, we need to sort of build a software or technology that can get all the gamers. At the time, they had over 8,000 people who were sort of traveling all across Africa into Lagos to participate, pretty much playing video games, making money. And they connected with me. At the time, I was at Dandela, one of the biggest consulting technology companies based out in New York. I was working with them remotely. And I was like, this is an interesting opportunity. And we all banded together to effectively start Gamr. Let's just talk about a bit about, the entire team and sort of why we think we are executing and why we are the best folks to make this work. Kumi, on the other hand, has over 15 years experience. He's the one that didn't give up gaming. He's been one of the pioneers on the continent, on Africa, building out gaming studios. On the other hand, Eniola herself has sort of been very impressive in our own profile, working with top brands like Samsung, MTN, and so on, and sort of managing over $10 million in book of value. We actually have on our advisory list, interesting superstars, we have Saha. And Saha is the #1 Call of Duty player for those that play Call of Duty on the call, is one that you need to beat. So Saha is going to help us sort of like really tackle how we continuously grow as a company, specifically working with top game influencers all across the world. And we recently signed onto our team on advisory board, Jesse. Jesse is the Pace University esports director. Jesse comes with a ton of experience working with colleges and scholastic esports, and we're excited about the kind of work we want to do in that space as well. All right, let's talk about how we started and sort of how our journey has been so far. We started in September 21. That's actually when I started my MBA at Pace University. So I was actually juggling startup life and student life at the same time. Yeah, I think honestly, I wouldn't want to try that anytime soon again. But with the help of my other co-founders, we very doubled down, very bullish. We generated over 200,000 plus in revenue. We've worked with over 5 businesses, brands like Red Bull, Logitech in the space. We've onboarded over 200,000 plus gamers spread across 15 markets across the world. And our platform has sort of hosted 1,000 tournaments, and we've paid out over $75,000 to gamers. We've worked with like I said earlier, brands like Red Bull. And let me double click more on what the kind of work we do with Red Bull. Red Bull, an energy drink, a successful global brand, leverages gaming esports as part of this marketing too. Red Bull leverages Gamr to tackle markets like Nigeria and Ghana to execute their own strategies. And Red Bull pays us for this. And recently we signed on CX Community, who are very big in the HBCU esports, and we're excited about the work we would be doing at them over here in the US. And of course, Pace University, my alma mater, and also N Ventures and the community of mentors who will be working with us as we go global. All right, let's go back to the problem. It's 2023. Gamers still have problem monetizing their skills. The solutions out there, we see Twitch as sort of very complex for newbie gamers, and it makes the adoption slow, specifically for those in markets that are hugely underserved. And speaking of underserved markets, they are certain tied to weaker infrastructures, and particularly it makes those gamers out there unable to participate in the rising boom. Today, they solve it with a couple of ways. Either they join a Discord server or they join a Telegram group, and then the organizer or the brand who was trying to engage with them sort of have a spreadsheet and just try to like pick out here and there, and then tries to pay. Let's say the tournament is done, then they try to pay out using either a bank account or PayPal. The system is currently broken and glitchy from an experience point of view. The question would be, what if instead there is one platform, one monetization platform that allows gamers themselves to discover tournaments, compete and with other gamers, they're able to monetize their own tournaments all in one place and manage their earnings. And that's what Gamr does. Today, Gamr is able to allow anyone on the continent and across the world to be able to compete with other gamers, engage with them, very soon stream their own content, and then manage all their income in one place. Again, Gamr provides proprietary tech for anyone to be able to monetize their skills on device of their choice. All right, let's go real quick to the app. You download Gamr either on your Apple phone or your Google Play or on your Android phone. You can also access it on the web. You'll be able to see games that you want to play. Very quickly, there's a tournament that will show up, and like in the type of tournaments, you can also see other gamers and where you rank as well, so you know who you're battling against. And like I said earlier, if you win a tournament, automatically in one click, all of that money comes to you and you can deposit into your bank account. Very easy, very seamless. Let's zoom out from a bit. What is the bigger play here? We see gaming as a huge trend. Gaming is bigger than movies and music combined. It is the biggest trend across all age groups and all genders. And why is that an opportunity? For us, we are focused right now on the esports sort of subsets market, which is part of the gaming ecosystem. Esports today is tracking at $7 billion and is growing at 12% compound annual growth rate. We've also synthesized sort of look at the market, and there are over 287 million esports enthusiasts who are willing to go pro and go competitive. And this gives us an opportunity to target $1 billion in max spend in terms of our addressable market as a brand. Our overall goal, actually our huge goal, is to be the ultimate monetization platform for gamers worldwide. We've dominated Africa today, and now we're scaling globally, and we're excited for the next steps. Let's talk about how we make money. We make money in 3 ways. First, we make money selling games for brands like Take-Two Interactive, and we take 40% take rate on that. We also have our platform, which is a SaaS product, and we charge $15 a month. And we have what they call a managed service. So managed service is pretty much how brands leverage our own expertise to be able to provide their own strategies into the gaming ecosystem. Our entry fee is about $5,000. Who are other players in the space? Right, so Gamr started in Africa and we are currently dominated that, and now we're going global. And we've seen other players in Europe like Challenger Mode, similar doing stuff. And in the US, we've seen community gaming. But one thing that we kind of sort of stand out is about simplicity, user experience, and very interesting thing, what we call managed infrastructure. Let's talk about managed infrastructure. On one end, we have the platform and we have the software and technology. On the other hand, we have what they call GamerX, which is a truly experience opportunity where we are spotlighting gamers in underserved markets like Africa and pull all of that together into a hub. So again, gamers want to be able to interact with each other, and there's the hub sort of, which is a physical interaction updates sort of facilitate what we call the ecosystem approach of how we're taking things into the market. All right, let's talk about one of our softwares. So again, we have Brackets. Brackets is our tournament discovery software built into Gamr. And interestingly, one of the things based on the feedback and sort of like the work we've done with businesses want to manage their own tournaments as well. And they already have like the established systems. So with Brackets, we're able to provide this service on a SaaS product level, like I mentioned earlier, and it streamlines all of that in one place. Let's sort of deep dive more with GamerX. Like I mentioned earlier, part of our managed infrastructure, GamerX is the biggest African esports championship. We just actually completed one last week where we had over 7,000 people in attendance. Actually, we flew top gamers from 15 countries into Lagos, Nigeria to participate for this. This was huge and very successful. I missed it actually because I was kind of here in the US and my partners were sorting that out. All right, in the physical space, and what does the hub represent in our managed infrastructure? Again, we understand the position of space and how that sort of transcends a lot of value for gamers. And that's kind of like the way we're executing. We're currently in the market raising. We're raising $1 million. We've closed at $440,000 from Google. We've raised from Google Black Founders Fund. We've also raised from an African-focused VC called Microtraction, and we've also raised from angels. The goal for the fund is to go global with our product. We're going to be setting up our business development team. We're going to be also investing in improving our product quality as well as marketing as well. Let's talk about our 12-month goal. So overall, part of the fundraise is to be able to increase our user growth while we optimize our customer acquisition cost. This is currently trading at $1.05 per customer we onboard. And we want to be leveraging on influential and guerrilla marketing strategies. The goal is to hit 1 million gamers. We're almost there. All right, the next piece is to improve our B2B monetization and retention strategy. And the goal is to achieve $20,000 in monthly recurring income. We also want to continuously expand our e-commerce suites where we sell games and sort of track about $1 million in GMV. And lastly is to onboard 10 gaming hubs across the world and sort of spotlight them for gamers to go co-create. Again, we got some exciting news. Like I said earlier, Take-Two signed up with us 2 months ago. Recently just gives us the capacity to sell their games, not only in Nigeria, but now in Ghana. We also inked a partnership agreement with Landmark. Landmark is one of the biggest leisure malls in Lagos, actually West Africa. And that gives us the ability to be able to build out the hub that I mentioned earlier. They currently have over 20,000 footfall people coming in. And so Gamr is going to be managing that hub for them. And lastly, like I said earlier, and part of our partnership is we have CX Community, which gives us access to leverage our technology, which HBCUs here in the US. Also, Gamr has some media recognition. 2 months ago as well, we got recognized by Deal Room as one of the top 100 gaming startups to watch. Again, like I said, we got funded by Google and my alma mater got spotted, and so excited about what we're doing with the Pace Entrepreneurship Studio. All right. Thank you all for listening. If you're interested in investing in Gamr, please send me an email at shay@gamr.world.
Alrighty, thank you, Shay. And this is it. Thank you all for joining us today. We hope you had a wonderful time hearing from our PES companies. And thank you to our studio companies, Nir and Eric from Cloudonix, Jay and Yola and Kunmi from Gamr for pitching today. Have a great summer and take care. Bye-bye.